Good evening, membership traders. 29th of Jan 2020, 8:30 p.m. on our Wednesday evenings class. I'll quickly share a small disclaimer with you. Today is happens to be Saraswati Puja in Bengal, in Calcutta. So whatever happens, people who conduct this festival make sure there's a lot of songs played on loudspeakers. Please pardon me if you hear some, songs at the background. Though I'm fairly at a higher floor, but since today afternoon there's been very loud music downstairs. So now it's at a tepid note, but please forgive me if it spikes up and then goes down. So, all right. So I'll try and speak as loud as possible so that it doesn't bother you. No. So, without wasting much time, Nifty is behaving quite erratic, I would say. Let's look at the weekly charts first. And what do we have is a retest of this yellow channel. There you go, this flattish channel that we've been looking at. So the Nifty has come down and it is testing the breakout levels of December 2019. So this channel is now getting tested. In terms of the trend, everything seems to be fine. We don't see any significant scary divergences on top. Yes, there is a candlestick bearish engulfing which is playing its part, but no significant structural resistances up here which suggests that this can lead to a big fall as of now. So the medium-term charts are still strong. The trend is intact. It's the momentum which is slowing down. And in terms of the next level of supports, we've been eyeing this zone. Needless to say that this erstwhile high, so if I just bring in another line like this, you'd see this erstwhile highs is what is trying to play as current supports from the weekly charts. Daily charts is a little tricky because we were looking at this blue rising channel that we draw from the relative strength index. And what we had yesterday was a clean breakdown, and what we have today is a bounce back significantly from yesterday's close and tried its best to inch inside that, and it's at the bottom. Is this a fake out? Is this breakdown was a trap? If that is to be true, then I would say that keep a close eye on day before yesterday's high, which is this one. This one. Okay, if that has to be a breakout trap, if this, okay, so let me reuse the new tools which GoToMeeting allows us. So if this has to be a breakdown trap, then if immediately within the next 2-3 days the market goes above this level, then this is definitely a trap and we are heading for much higher levels. On the other hand, if this doesn't play out the way we have drawn here, then if the market stays down below this channel breakdown, then all that this is a throwback. And on the other hand, if this low is broken, the next fall can be sharp enough. So that's why I say that the Nifty is in a tricky situation right now. Let me take a look at the shorter time frame. In terms of the RSI channels that we draw, this is the blue one that we should keep an eye on as of now. 75-minute charts is really interesting because if you recall that this was the red channel that we had kept for a couple of weeks, I guess. And yesterday's sell-off actually bounced back from this channel yet again. So this channel is actually playing out its part. So it is a valid, strong price channel. We've got a bounce back. Now the important thing would be to see whether it goes back to these kind of levels. This is the level which was the breakout failure we drew on the daily chart. So if that happens, which is 12,200, then we've got further move. So 12,200 on the upside and 12,050 on the downside. Either way can happen. We have a week full of events. We have Saturday's budget coming up. So I sense that that the market will probably go through a range contraction, though we have already a small candle on the daily today, but I feel that the markets will probably stay within these two lines and then decide on the breakout if the budget supplies us with any event for the capital market per se, if that happens at all. Okay, Bank Nifty. Nifty Bank on the weekly charts, we have this supports holding well. I like the fact that this week's bar or candlestick is significantly smaller than what the sell-off we saw last week. This is the support zone that we have drawn, and this is where the index is bouncing back close to the 38% Fibonacci retracement on the daily chart. So going back to the weekly before we go to the daily chart, I'm sorry. The trend intact, medium to long-term trend is intact. This is the rising red channel that we have on our charts, and we would expect the index to go up and test the upper borders. It's the momentum again which is slowing down, and for the Bank Nifty, it happened before the Nifty, so banks are leading the way down, but the trend is still intact. We would get a little worry if this zone that we have drawn, the index breaks below this zone and stays below this zone, but I feel before it does so, we can get a bounce back. Can we get any such sign on the daily charts? So what we have is these supports playing out. So let me use the pen here. So these supports playing out for the Bank Nifty. The nature of the candlesticks have gone small apart after this sharp sell-off. So it is essentially consolidating the sell-off. Now, the important thing is after this consolidation, it's going to be a breakdown or it's going to give us a bounce back. Now, if I turn it into a line chart, I don't see any form of a divergence shaping up with my momentum indicator. And it seems like the supports are holding well. So it's difficult to take a call right now. I think the price breakout or breakdown will justify that, which is clear from the fact that we've got events in our hands. This is a 75-minute chart on the Bank Nifty where we see this falling red channel. We will have to redraw it probably next week, but let me extend this. If I can extend this further to the right, there you go. This is the trend line which is holding the prices down. Consolidation, yes, definitely. At the supports, yes, definitely. Can it give a bounce back? I will not take a call right now. I would say it is 50-50 for the Bank Nifty. But the fact that it led the fall in the market, the fact that heavyweights like HDFC Bank has sold off quite significantly, and it's one particular large cap every day which is getting sold off. It was Reliance yesterday. It doesn't give us a very good sense. It doesn't give us a very good feel about the overall price behavior. But nevertheless, you should not be biased, and you can be open to surprises. And for Bank Nifty, the surprise can be this big head and shoulder failure. So many of you probably are looking at this left shoulder, head, and the right shoulder. Not the best of head and shoulders, but structurally nice. This is the neckline. This is the breakdown of the neckline. This is the throwback. Now, trust me, if these lows are broken, if Bank Nifty breaks this low, it will be a serious fall. And if this high is broken, it will be a complete reversal and you'll have a new high. There is no, I mean, at least from my experience and my observation, there is no doubt about it. So again, it boils down to deciding based on the range. And the range is shaping up because the events are on the pipeline. So I think pre the event is unlikely. During the event or post the event, if the event has anything for us, the capital markets at all, then the event can lead to a directional clarity. Till then, stay within this range. Look to buy straddles if you understand options and if you can, set up a strategy like that. But the breakout or the breakdown, I think, is going to decide the next quarter's movement for both the index, Bank Nifty as well as Nifty, but definitely for the Bank Nifty for sure. So if I round it up, I would say let's not create any bias for the upcoming week. Let's stay light. Strategically, you should be trading less or lesser quantity. Strategically, your trades should be short-term in nature so that you don't get surprises on the next day's opening. Let this week pass full of events, and post the event, once the postmortem is done, you will definitely have clarity out of the event and hopefully some more clarity out of price as well. So let's stay unbiased and hope that the market manages to find support, breaks out on the upside, proves this pattern wrong, and can inch further up for newer life highs. All right, so that's our analysis on the Nifty and the Bank Nifty. We stay completely unbiased. Now, as always, I would request mentorship traders to share your trades and ask your queries and doubts. So please go ahead and start.